Hey, can you really get rich with real estate like you used to see in those old TV infomercials, or maybe nowadays where you see all over Facebook? Guys and gals touting the fact that you can get rich overnight with real estate and how you don't need any money for anything. You could be toothless. You could have been a complete failure 2 minutes ago, but today is your lucky day, because when you buy that course or when you attend that seminar, you are going to be absolutely rich. Is that possible? Well, I'm going to tell you exactly that it's a little bit possible, but not in the way you think. Maybe I'm dating myself, but back in the days, there used to be Carlton Sheets and Tan Bu, and I think there was another guy named McCorkle, who subsequently, I believe, went to jail. Correct me if I'm wrong here in the comments. But they were all touting the fact that you could get rich with real estate, and it was amazing. Like, Tan Bu had all these women all around him, and I actually bought Carlton Sheets course. I bought it on the payment plan, $69 a month for 3 months, but I couldn't afford it, so I returned it back. And is it true? Can you really do it? Well, there's a difference between getting rich and dramatically increasing your income overnight. Because what I did is I dramatically increased my income overnight. However, I'm still trying to get rich. So let's talk about the two differences. Getting rich. What does getting rich mean? A lot of times when people think about getting rich, they think about the fact that they own multiple homes, that they own all this wealth and these assets, and they own cars, and they own all these homes, all these, they own cars, and they own so many things. And now they get to sit around the beach or their pool all day and just relax and count their money. And that is being rich. Can you do that? Well, first of all, I would say that, first of all, a lot of that stuff you see on Instagram and on Facebook, it's just a monthly payment. Keep that in mind. I used to have a car that I rented a very long time ago, and I was paying $2,000 a month on a lease just to be able to drive a fancy car all over town. Now I have kids and I have a big Suburban, but it's very easy that if you're making any sort of money, you can go out and lease yourself a car, and next thing you know, now you're balling like everybody else. So keep in mind is that not everything always appears to be what it seems, and it's just a lease payment away, really, if you want the big house and the big car. Now, can you really get rich overnight like that? The answer is no. I mean, yes, you hear stories of people that have built these companies and they sell for a lot of money. They get bought out for hundreds of millions of dollars. And many people don't realize that there was 3 or 4 other companies that they started that they never did anything with, that failed, and finally got this one settled, and now they've made all this money. And so this overnight success that they speak about is really a 10-year overnight success. And getting rich, especially in real estate, if you want to create significant wealth in real estate, it is definitely not get rich. There is absolutely no get rich quick. There's absolutely nothing fast about it. However, there is a concept that is very true and could happen to almost anyone, really, if you put the hard work and effort into it, and that is dramatically increasing your income overnight. Because that's what's happened to me. I got started as a real estate agent, which I don't recommend you get started as a real estate agent. Eventually, I made my way to becoming a real estate investor and attempting to do real estate. And I specialize in a strategy called wholesaling. And I actually created a strategy that's a derivative of that called virtual wholesaling, where you can find and flip properties anywhere in the USA using only your cell phone and a laptop. It doesn't require any cash for down payments, any credit, or any of that. If you are interested in learning about my strategy, you can go to flipanywhere.com, flipanywhere.com, or you can click one of the links in the description here. And, I went from making just a couple of $1,000s a month to, within a span of 6 months, making $110,000 in a single month, which is a significant jump. Now, I went to college and I got a degree in accounting, which was completely worthless. So the fact that I made all that money in a relatively short period of time had nothing to do with my education. In fact, I grew up on aside from FIU, that's where I went to school and I got my degree in accounting. Aside from being away from home and just not wanting to be at my house with my parents, that's really the only reason I went to college and the only good of it that came of it. Other than that, it was just a piece of paper that I paid a lot of money for. And prior to that, I mean, you may not know my story, but I grew up on the island of Puerto Rico, dirt poor. We had no running water until I was in 3rd grade. raid. We had to go to the outhouse to go to the bathroom. I remember the cockroaches scurrying along in the middle of the night when we went out to go to the bathroom. And so I came from no money, and yet I was able to take my real estate strategy and go from zero to going to $110,000 in a single month in a very short period of time. And that is the possibility with wholesaling. So did I get rich overnight? I didn't get rich overnight, but I exponentially increased my income significantly overnight, which what you need first is you need income. You can't get rich without income. You can't pay, a lot of times people say, well, gee, I got, 40 or 50 or $100,000 worth of equity in a house. Well, you can't go to the grocery store and use your equity to pay for your groceries, or you can't call the electrical company and say, hey, I want to pay for my electrical bill this month, and I'm going to do it with my house, with the equity that I have in my house. Now, I know some of you might say, well, gee, you can take out a home equity loan, blah, 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 but you know what I mean by that. So increasing your income is the most important thing that you should be thinking about, not getting rich. And real estate, specifically wholesaling. Wholesaling is where you're taking a property that is below market, and you go out and you place that property under contract with the intention of buying it. And when you do that, you're not closing on it, you're not putting up any money for down payments or deposits. You're just having an agreement with the owner to buy that property. And then you're taking that agreement and then now selling it to another real estate investor who is going to then take their money out of their bank or go to their credit union or whatever, and then close on the property. And then now you're going to make a spread in terms of what you buy, what you have it on the contract for versus what you sell it to them. And that number could vary. It could be a couple $1,000s to as much as my biggest assignment fee was $98,000 on a single deal on a property that I never owned. And again, we're not talking about getting rich quick. Getting rich quick is not it. It is about increasing your income from a certain amount. In my case, it was right around $3,000 a month to all of a sudden making $110,000 in a single month. I did it without any inventory. Back then, there was no Shopify, there was no Amazon, there was nothing. There was very few things you can do. And even today, there's a lot of opportunities available for you to go out and do this. To be able to exponentially increase your income. But nothing ever beats, to me, real estate, because real estate is enduring. Real estate, everybody's going to need a house. Everybody's always going to need a place to live. No matter 10 years from now, that is always going to be the reality of the situation. And so it's an enduring industry. It's an industry that you can get involved with today and will be around for the next 20 or 30 years, unlike some of these other things that who knows what's going to happen. But the fact is that you can increase your income quick. Now, a lot of times people will think about getting rich in real estate by owning rental property. And you buy rental property, you let it appreciate, and then you collect rents, and then eventually you pay them off. And yes, you could certainly do that. But again, in the beginning, your focus should be in increasing the size of your personal bank account, of increasing the amount of money that comes in each and every single month. And now that you have available to do other things with, you have available to pay off debt, you have available to invest in other assets that will bring you money. And so that's what I wanted to say to you today, because a lot of people, they take real estate and they lump it with get rich. And nothing could be further from the truth. There is no get rich with real estate. But however, there is the increase your income overnight with real estate. I've seen students of mine go from zero to making $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month. Now, am I saying that you can do that? It's possible. I always say, my coach always says that there is always a thin line between possibility and probability. Is it possible that you can go out today and you can win the lotto? You know what? It definitely is possible. Is it probable? Probably not. So is it possible that you can make money in the way that I described with real estate investing? The answer is yes. Now, the probability of that goes up based on the amount of work and effort and energy that you put into it. Just like any other business, a mistake that people do is that they look at real estate and they don't look at it with the lens of a regular business. A regular business you would look at and say, I got to budget money for marketing. I got to put things in place. I got to, take it and manage that business effectively. And in the beginning, yes, I know that you're gonna do everything you can in order to make something happen, and it's a bit of a hustle. But very quickly, you have to turn that into a business, because again, to increase that increase from possibility to probability, there is work, there is a lot of effort required. But as with anything, if it was easy to make $110,000 in a single month, guess what? Everybody be making $110,000 in a single month, and they'll all be driving Mercedes-Benz. That's not the case. So now it's up to you to make that happen. And really, that's what I wanted to tell you today, is that getting rich in real estate doesn't exist. Not getting rich quickly. Let me rephrase that. Getting rich quickly in real estate doesn't exist. However, overnight increasing your income significantly, so now your life changes and now you have a lot more options. That is certainly possible with real estate investing if you're willing to put the work in. I'm specifically talking about my strategy of virtual wholesaling, where you can find and flip properties anywhere in the USA using only your cell phone and a laptop, without ever having to personally meet with any buyers or sellers or personally inspecting a property. If you want to learn more about that, go to flipanywhere.com, and do me a favor. Go ahead and right now, I want you to do a few things. Number one is make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. Number two, leave me something, a comment or a like or anything that just tell me that you're alive. And also, if you're interested, check the links in the description for more information on how you can use real estate to create your vehicle for increasing your income and eventually increasing your wealth.